Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are live, I think. So just give us a second to make sure that we are. How's everyone doing today? Happy Monday. It is the 1st of November. Can you believe it?
Okay.
All right, we are good. Can you believe it's the 1st of November? Time is flying by. And what better day than today to get rocking and rolling and getting ready for the new year as a business owner. So for those of you who don't know us, my name is Javier Carlin. I'm a physical therapist, and this is Marissa Case. She's a registered dietitian, and we are the founders of this group, Online Business Growth Secrets for Registered Dietitians and Nutritionists. So if that's you, you're in the right place at the right time. Every Monday, we're here live with you, providing as much value as we possibly can on the topics of starting your business, marketing, sales, mindset, everything and anything that you need to start and grow a successful practice. We have it here in this community. So if you can hear us, if you can see us, just so we know we're not talking to ourselves here, go ahead and say hello in the chat. Let us know where you are tuning in from. We have so many new members. So let us know if you are live, say hello, and say, hey, I'm coming in from Clearwater, Florida. I'm coming in from New York. All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, and as always, if you guys know any other dietitians or nutrition experts that would benefit from this group, please feel free to invite them in. Honestly, the more the merrier. We absolutely love having them and doing these Monday live streams where we're just providing pure value for you guys.
So let me ask you this. Do you know how many days we have till January 1st? 61 days. 61 days. 2 months. That's it. Crazy. I know. You know what that means? It means that if you're thinking about starting your private practice, if you've been thinking about starting your private practice for weeks, months, maybe years, guess what time it is? The time is now. The time is now to move forward, take that leap of faith, and start your private practice. Because after having my own private practice, after Marissa having her own private practice, we can definitely say that just like there are seasons, we have winter, spring, summer, fall. Just like we have seasons, there are seasons in business as well. And the peak seasons for RDs right now is right before New Year's, okay, is number one, and right before summer. So as you and I both know, right, the best time to start is now. Well, the best time was yesterday. The second best time is now. But most importantly, right, with the holidays coming and the new year about to start, right, it's the best possible timing to get into business because so many people are going to be needing your help specifically, okay? Because 2022 is only 61 days away and people are motivated, right? They're actually more motivated than ever, right, to set some health goals and to crush them. So guess who needs to be there when they are ready, right, to get some help? You do. Okay, you do. So dietitians, nutrition experts need to be at the forefront of people's minds by showing up on social media, okay? So that when your clients are searching for answers online, they come across your content. They not just come across your content, right, but they consume your content and they start to engage with your content and they get excited about the possibility of you being able to solve their problems, especially going into the new year. And we need to make sure that they're coming across you, right, and not some influencer who's giving nutrition advice. Because remember, you're the expert. They need an expert. They need you, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let us know, do you guys currently have a private practice? Are you thinking of starting one? Let us know. Drop it down in the chat so we know exactly who we're talking to tonight. And when it comes to starting a private practice, some of you guys might be thinking, what legal documents do I need? What EMR systems do I need? How do I create an initial assessment form? Do I need an LLC, a bank account, a logo? Like, where do I even begin, right? And some of you guys may be, searching the internet and trying to just figure it out. But we've got you guys covered. So before we dive in, okay, we would love to know, what topics would you love covered in this group overall? Would you like more marketing stuff, more stuff about starting your private practice, more stuff about, content, tips and tricks, how to find your niche? Let us know, because the more that you share with us what you need, the better that we can help you. The more types of content we're going to create that surrounds and solves your exact problems and gets you moving and crushing it in your business.
I love it. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and say hello to a few people that we have on right now. So Clarence is on. Clarence, how you doing, my friend? So good to see you on there. Barbara from Sarasota, Florida. We got AT in the house is live. Julia from Massachusetts.
Hey.
Hi, Julia. We got Kaylee in the house from Boulder. How do you guys have such good lighting? Hey, we might do a training on that soon too.
Ooh, how to set up your office.
How to set up your office. Yeah. Would that be great? Andrew from St. Pete, Florida. Jamie from Tampa. Jamie, you're in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Love it. Clarence, the time is now. Yes. Let's see who else. So Julia is thinking of starting a private practice. Okay. Cool. Susan says, I have it set up, cash and at least one insurance, have a space, just need clients. Awesome. Julia, billing, what forms to use, insurance and liability. Awesome, Julia. Well, we should be able to help you with that specifically today. So let's get it rolling. Awesome. So, we have this, I'm not sure if you saw this in the group, but we created this private practice starter kit. And this is really everything that you need to get rolling, okay? To really start your private practice and get get ahead, okay? This is as we were creating this, we were like, what is the minimum? We like to say MVP. What is the minimum viable product that they need to actually get rolling, to actually start seeing clients? Because at the end of the day, like, why do you want to start a private practice? Well, I'm assuming for a couple different reasons, but for one, it's to be able to impact people, right, and treat them in a way that is in their best interest, that can really serve them at a high level, and also so that you can maybe escape clinical, build a business where you have control, over how much income you're making, how much time you're putting into working, right, and how much time you are doing the things that you love to do. So with that, right, the private practice starter kit is meant to help you with all of that and get your private practice rolling as quickly as possible, especially since New Year's is coming. So what we have here, okay, is if you haven't gotten the private practice starter kit yet, go ahead and type in kit below, and what we'll do is we'll just send it to you. Okay, that way you can still take notes, but that way you'll have this ready to print out as well. Okay, so just a few months ago, we connected with an amazing attorney. Her name's Sarah, and she founded her business, Destination Legal. Okay, and she started this business to really support coaches and online entrepreneurs in getting to the point where they're protecting and excited about their business. So what we love most about Sarah is that she works specifically with dietitians and makes legal information very simple and easy to understand. Okay, easy to implement. So Sarah, just a couple months ago, I believe, she hosted a private masterclass for our clients in our coaching program, and everyone found it so valuable. So what we did was we ended up reaching out to Sarah and asked her, it's like, hey, listen, we have a group of over 1,000 people in healthcare that could really benefit from what you taught us, from what you taught our clients. And we asked her, like, hey, would you be willing to come back into our public Facebook group, which is the one that you're in right now, and do a Q&A and get all of their legal questions answered? And guess what she said? If you guessed yes, that's right. She said yes. So for those of you that are watching this right now and watching this on the replay, #replay, you're on the replay, we'd love for you to join us. Okay, the Legal Masterclass is happening inside this Facebook group on November 10th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so we'll also have a replay. If you want us to tag you in that, comment kit if you want this kit, okay, and also comment legal so we can tag you when we go live with Sarah from Destination Legal. And the reason we're telling you this, right, is because that's one of the biggest questions that we get. And we get that question often, right? From a legal perspective, what do I have to have in place, right? What do I actually need to move forward in my business and be safe, right? So she's going to come in and get all your questions answered. So what we want to make sure, right, is that we're going to give you a little bit of what she told us, but we don't want to spoil all of it because she's going to come in in a week, next week actually.
Yep.
Okay. So awesome.
Yeah. So like how we said, we're not going to give it all away, but we'll give you a little hint that at least get you started and get you feeling more confident about getting your private practice up and running, hopefully within the next week. That would be awesome. So just a little insight, the presentation that she gave to our private coaching clients a couple months ago was the top 5 business mistakes that healthcare professionals make when they start their private practice. And one of the biggest things she was talking about was basically that in the beginning, we think that we have to do all these things legally to start our business. And what happens is we end up getting kind of trapped and confused and overwhelmed and confused on exactly what we need legally to start our business. So to ease everyone's mind, and this is coming from Sarah's masterclass, you only need 2 things legally to start your business. Can anyone guess what they are? 2 things. I'll give you the hint. Number 1 is a contract. Type contract down below. So you need a contract to legally start your business. And the contract is between you and your client, basically saying, I'm going to be providing you this service. You will be paying me this much with a little bit more details, but that's basically what the contract is. Now, Sarah is amazing, and she does have templates for all of this stuff. So when we bring her on, she'll give you that information. So contract is number 1. The second thing you need to legally start your business is a way to get paid. That's it.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's literally it. She says if you have those 2 things, you're good. You're ready to rock and roll and start seeing clients. And, it's interesting because so many times we were, doing, countless numbers of activities and things to create and build our business behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, a business becomes real when you have this. A business becomes real when you have a paying client. Okay? So that's what a business entails, is providing a service in exchange for monetary value. Okay? So if that's the case, and that's the number 1 goal, right, of business is to help someone and get paid for it, then, that's all we need.
I know.
Those 2 things. It's amazing.
It's
right?
crazy.
That's it.
So I see wow, what? That's it? Yes, that is it, legally, right? Now, there's a few more things that you may want to have in place. You could do it sooner. You could do some things later. You're probably thinking, but what about an LLC? What about my business bank account? What about liability insurance, right? We got you covered. It's all in this kit. But we're going to do a little bit more of a deep dive into the questions that you may be having right now. So question number 1 that comes on everybody's mind is, hey, what about liability insurance, right? So for liability insurance, it's super easy to get. You could probably get it within 20, 30 minutes or so. For dietitians specifically, the most common one used is Pro Liability. If you go to their website, they have the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics logo right there because they are associated with them. And sometimes dietitians ask me questions about legal things, and liability insurance is one of them. And, to be honest, I'm a registered dietitian. I am not an attorney, and I, therefore, am not the best person to give legal advice, right? Just like if my car broke down or your car broke down, you wouldn't come to me for a mechanic because I'm not a mechanic. Just like I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a lawyer. So, best person to ask for legal advice, 2 people. Number 1, if you have any legal questions, feel free to jot them down and bring them to Sarah on November 10th here in this group. We're saving some time at the end for a Q&A for her. And then number 2, the pro liability people themselves, the company themselves. They have amazing support. You can chat with a representative, and they are the best person because at the end of the day, I would hate to give you legal advice and be wrong and then mess up your business. I am not here to do that. I want you to have an amazing, thriving business, and therefore I will not be giving legal advice. Does that make sense? Everyone cool with that? Yeah?
Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
Makes sense.
Cool.
Awesome. So number 2, we want to cover this, and very briefly, because basically every single one of our trainings is about this, but you want to have a social media presence, okay? And that's obviously, it can be, like, oh, well, of course, right? That's important. But, the question is, like, how well are you actually doing it? Do you have a strategy for your social media? Do you have everything dialed in from your dream customer to your messaging to the type of content that you have to put out there that's going to resonate with the clients that you want to work with, right? That is important. And we don't have time right now to cover all of that, right? But that is something that we go in deep in, not just our coaching program, but we do touch on that throughout these weekly trainings as well. So with that said, right, 2 social media platforms that we highly recommend, and it really depends on where your dream customers are at, but the top 2 that we would say that you must be on is, number 1 is Facebook. So we love Facebook, right? Because of so many reasons that Facebook is great that we're not going to dive into right now. But so Facebook, and the second one is Instagram. Okay. And the cool thing about both of these platforms is that they are brother and sister, right? They're owned by the same company, and therefore a lot of what you do on one platform actually translates over to the next platform, which is really cool, right? So it definitely saves you time. And if you have the right strategy, the right system, you're able to be very effective and efficient with the content that you're producing. So those are the 2 platforms that we highly recommend that you're on, and you have a strong social media presence inside of. Now, caveat to that, and then we'll go to the next point, because I can talk about this forever. Choose one to begin with, okay? Choose one to start, and the reason is that if you can't be consistent and post quality content on one platform, then you're definitely not going to be able to do it on 2 platforms. Make sense? So stick with one, build one up, get really great at it, get really consistent with it, and once you've mastered that, add on the second platform on top of it. Okay, don't get rid of one to add the other one, right? Have both of them stacked on top, but done nicely and packaged in a nice, nice little way, bundle package there for you. Okay, cool, awesome.
Cool. So next question you guys might have is, what tools or resources do I need to start my business? And just so you guys know, if you guys download this PDF, anything that has an underline, I'm again very type A dietitian, so anything that has an underline, you can actually click on it and it'll take you right to the website. I made it super, super easy for you guys. So in terms of free tools, there are so many out there that are amazing, but our top 2 that we use, I think almost daily. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure we use these both daily. Number 1 is Canva. And Canva does have a free option. It has a paid option. But to be honest, the free one works just as amazing as the paid one. With the paid one, you get a little bit more features, but you can totally start with the free one. Then once you start making money in your business, go ahead and upgrade if you want to. So absolutely love Canva for creating graphics and resources and any type of even social media content, okay? So Canva, number 1. The second one that we recommend that we use daily, that we're using right now, well, actually kind of, but is Zoom, okay? Zoom is amazing, especially for those that are doing telehealth, right? You can sit at home, you can sit on the beach, you could sit in a coffee shop, and you can have your counseling sessions. So absolutely love Zoom. And again, there is a free and a paid version, but you can always start with the free.
Beautiful. Yeah. So next question we get a ton is, how do we collect payments, or which is the best payment processor? And to be honest, one of the things that comes up a lot, right, is, well, which one do I choose? Which one? I know they have fees. I know that, they're going to take a portion of my money. Like, which one should I choose? And, I've talked to some people that literally are thinking about which payment, system to use for months. Okay. And it's like, let's not focus about let's just choose one. Let's not focus on, comparing all these different payment processes. Let's actually get payments to go through it. Right. Because, a lot of them are very similar in what percentage they're charging you to use it. Right. And it's typically like 3.5 versus like 3.49. Okay. 0.01% is not going to make or break you. Right, that's the least of your worries, which is awesome, right? So choose a payment processor. We recommend 2 of them, and now, of course, there are other softwares that you can use to integrate with these two, but literally Stripe number one and PayPal number two are two payment systems that you can literally create invoices inside of without anything else. And the cool thing is, right, they're technically free, right, with obviously a fee to process the payments for you. So those are the two that we would recommend strictly to send invoices, start subscriptions, and create payments from. Cool?
Cool.
All right.
All right. Everyone good so far? Comment, I'm good, if you are good and you are following along with us.
Yeah, and just to add, if you have any questions for us, start dropping your questions down below, and we'll either get to it with this kit that we have, and again, if you want the kit, comment kit down below, or we'll get to your question towards the end. Okay, so we'll get to your question at the end, your questions at the end, and that way we know how to best serve you. Cool.
All right. So, next question that I get asked all the time is, what EMR do you use? Now, there are multiple different types of EMRs. They all do very similar things. So you're going to have to check to see which one is the right fit for you. But the good news is that they all offer free trials. So there's Practice Better, there's Healthy, there's Simple Practice, and you can also use Google Workspace, and there is a way to make it HIPAA compliant. So if you click in the kit on Google Workspace, I pulled up the document exactly how to do that to save you guys so much time. So the awesome thing about Practice Better, you can use it for free up to 3 clients. For Healthy, you can use it for free up to 10 clients. And then for Simple Practice, there's 2 different plans. I believe one's $39 and one's $59, but you get a 30-day free trial. So you can literally try different ones and see which one is the best fit for you. And another thing, there's so many dietitians and so many healthcare professionals in this group that feel free to network with each other and bounce ideas off of each other. So in my practice, I personally used the Google Docs method. I never had a true EMR. So I might not be the best person to ask when it comes to, hey, which one's better, Practice Better versus Healthy. But we have tons of dietitians who use them, and feel free to network. We want this group to be really fun, interactive. We want you to help each other out as well. And if I don't have the answer, if he doesn't have the answer, maybe somebody else in this group does. So tons of EMR options. That's a tongue twister. Go ahead and check them out. I linked it right to the page where it compares all the pricing plans and packaging. Make your life super easy.
Beautiful. So next up, what we recommend you have, right? You want to have initial assessment forms, and of course, follow-up forms as well. So you want to have a system for how you're actually helping people, right? Taking them through your process. So I know for many of you, like that's something that you've learned, in school, and you have some sort of system that you actually help your clients through already. But what we've done, in case you're just starting off and you want some more assistance, you want a resource, we have an initial assessment form inside the kit. I'm not going to go through all the questions right now because there's about 20 or 30 of them.
It's like 2 pages worth of questions.
So there's a lot of questions, okay? And, we obviously need these questions, and the questions are important. Why? Because the questions give us the answers that we're looking for from our clients that allow us to help them, right? So we really want to be able to ask the right questions. With that said, though, we have these questions for you. With that said, everyone is in a slightly different niche, right? So, for example, if you practice intuitive eating, or that's what you teach, right, then you're probably not going to be as concerned with, the number on the scale, the weight, the current weight of the person, what their goal weight is. So those questions you might not ask. So at the end of the day, you have to take these questions as a framework and create your own questions that would make sense for you and your business specifically.
Absolutely.
Cool? Awesome.
Absolutely.
So some of the questions that we get asked quite frequently are these, okay? So a few of the frequently asked questions we get, number one is, should I have an insurance or a cash-based practice? Now, I have been a part of both, and I can give you the pros and cons for all of them. However, one of the things that I commonly see, in whichever direction you're going, let's not have a conversation about insurance or cash right now. We've done another live training on that specifically, where we spend an entire 30, 45 minutes on that topic. But really what I see often okay, is newer business owners who are building your business and wanting to get it off the ground. They'll wait until they're credentialed with insurance, right? Whether it's one insurance, two insurance, whatever number of insurance companies, to start seeing clients. And while I get it, I also recommend that you don't wait because you might be waiting for months, right? For those of you that have gone to network with insurance, like it literally can take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6 months, a whole year at times. It can get crazy, right? And insurance, it's not the funnest thing to work with. So with that said, right, if you are planning on taking insurance, okay, that's fine. Um, Start taking cash now. Okay. That way, if it takes 2 or 3 months for you to get credentialed with insurance, you at least have 2 months where you've been helping people, right? And you've been growing your business and you've been offering cash paying services. And what's really neat about that is within those 2 months, you might find that you might not want to take insurance anymore because there are people out there that are very willing to pay you your cash rates, that would be happy to pay you because they see the value in what you have to offer. They don't see you as a commodity. And if you have the right content, if you construct the right offer, and you have the right person, right, that really is in need of what you have to offer, then they'll be more than happy to pay you. So keep that in mind. Short answer is start with cash. Okay, start a cash practice, and ideally stay there. No, just kidding, not really. But if you are waiting to get credentialed, like, don't wait for the insurance to, come through before you start, right? Start seeing clients now. It's going to help you to get more exposure, more visibility, and start getting the reps in, okay? Because you have to learn these skills, right? There's skills of marketing, skills of content creation, skills of sales, skills of seeing clients, getting them to commit to plans of cares and continue to come and see you for every follow-up visit, right? All these things take some time to get really good at, so the sooner you start, the better. Cool?
Cool.
All right.
All right. So how many of you guys are wondering about an LLC? It's like, okay, they've been talking for some time now. They have not mentioned an LLC, but I think I need an LLC to start my business. Anyone thinking that right now? Okay. We're going to cover the LLC situation right now. Now, an LLC is definitely an important layer of protection for you and your business. However, it is not the first thing that needs to be done when you start your business. Remember, Sarah from Destination Legal said the only two things you need are a contract and a way to get paid. Okay? Now, Sarah recommended for the LLC to file for your LLC when you're about 6 to 12 months into your business. And I know that sounds crazy, right? And yes, the LLC versus the PLLC, again, ask a lawyer which one is the best one for you, or ask your CPA or whoever is the best one for you. I am definitely not a lawyer, so I'm not the best person to ask. But whether it's your LLC, your PLLC, whatever it is, it technically doesn't need to be done until 6 to 12 months into your business, or Sarah even recommended until you hit that 50K mark in your business. Isn't that mind-blowing? That blew my mind, right? So the LLC is very, very easy to obtain. You can get it online on your own. All you have to do is go to your state's Secretary of State office, and literally it walks you through the entire process online. So not the first thing you need to get done, but it is an important layer of protection. If you want to go ahead and get it from the start, totally cool, but not 100% necessary. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now, next point that we got is business bank accounts. I see this question all the time. What bank account is the best for your business? Now, there are so many different bank accounts out there, so we will speak from personal experience. If anyone else has great experience with other banks, please feel free to share. We would love to know. But we have used and loved, and we're still using and still love, Chase Bank and Novo. So again, you guys all should know what Chase Bank is. It's pretty popular. But Novo, I linked right there in the starter kit, so you can go check it out. Novo is an online-only bank. They don't actually have a physical location, but I've been very happy with their customer service and the layout of when you log into the website, it's very, very user friendly. So been really happy with those two so far.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So next question we get often, okay, is drumroll please. Do I need a website? Do I need a website? So the short answer is no, you do not need a website. Okay. And the reason is this. Okay. At the end of the day, what we end up seeing is that many websites that are out there are actually, quite frankly, poorly done. And when I mean poorly done is they all look great, like the aesthetics, right? They look fancy. They have all these, images and these pop-up things, and it's really cool and all, but they're ineffective. The purpose of the website, right, is not being met. And we don't have time to go into all of the specifics of that right now. But I will say that, the thing that we see most often is people will spend months building a website, making it perfect, right? The perfect site. And then they'll have this pretty site up, right? And then they kind of just sit back and wait for something to happen. Wait for someone to grab a business card, find it on the floor, or in their wallet, or perhaps they hoping that someone searches the website and discovers it. And the fact of the matter is that it doesn't work that way. Okay, so there are certain things that have to be set up on the front end, on the back end, within the website, okay, that actually make it effective and make it worthwhile. So what I recommend, it's not bad to have a website. It's not necessary to have it, especially in the beginning. And you do want to have one at some point, okay, but you want to have it done the right way, where it's not just, a pretty thing on the internet that no one goes to and no one becomes a client from, but something that can actually get you leads, okay, contact information. So with that said, what we recommend is don't worry about a website. Don't spend hours and hours and hours on end creating it on your own. Start your business, okay, have conversations, gain clients, and once you started to gain some traction, you started to gain some consistent revenue in your practice, then you can hire someone to just do it for you. Even then, I'd be worried about some of the people that are creating websites out there because they just don't know a lot about what's supposed to happen. But if you come prepared with the right questions, the right mindset, the right strategy, then you'll be able to, make sure that they're building something that's actually functional. So with that said, like I mentioned, right, you want to have, you can start without a website, gain clients, use the revenue from that to pay someone to do the website for you in about 2 hours versus you doing it in 6 months. Cool?
Cool.
All right.
2 more frequently asked questions that we get all the time that we're going to wrap up here for today. So we're going to cover logos and we're going to cover business cards.
All right, let's hear it. So, logos. Do we need a logo? Okay, do we need a logo? So much like a website, we don't necessarily need a logo. Okay. And the fact is that, it can definitely be a nice touch to your business and it makes you feel more official for sure. Okay. And this is something that we recommend doing a few months into your business. Okay. After you've attained some clients. And the reason is, much like a website, pay someone to do your logo for you, right? Just have someone do it on Fiverr. It's not a lot of money, right? You can simply pay someone to do it for you. If you want it, sometimes it's like $20, $50. Yeah. So if you want to do it before you gain clients, that's cool too. But don't stress about it is where we're getting at. Okay. Don't stress about having the perfect logo. It can evolve over time. People are not going to decide to work with you or not work with you because of the color of your logo or what it is, right? It's just not that important. And again, we just see so many people stressing about it, for weeks. And it's like, just get clients, just help people, you know what I mean? So that's the thing with the logo. Not necessary, definitely, nice to have, especially as your brand starts to grow, you need one. But in the beginning, get clients first, focus on that, use the money from the clients that you're working with to pay someone to create your logo. But again, it's not that expensive, so you can just pay someone from the start.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So last question we get asked all the time is, do I need a business card, and where do I make them, and how do I get them? So we'll answer those questions for you right now. So how many of you guys currently have business cards? Let me know. Just say I have business cards in the chat. And also, let me know, when was the last time that you can remember that you actually went in your house and scavenged maybe some drawers, or deep down in your wallet, or deep down in your purse, and you found a business card and you said, aha, I need to call this person, and you called the person and you made an appointment and you went to go see them? When was the last time you made an appointment off a business card? Serious question. When was the last time we've done that?
I don't know. I have a phone. I can just find people on my phone and find their phone number and everything else that I need.
So, much like the logo, much like the website, right? You see a trend here, hopefully, is that with business cards, they are very nice to have for your business, okay? They're nice to have. Again, they make you feel really official. You got your logo on there. You got, your colors. You got nice, pretty font, maybe a picture of yourself, some more information of where people can find you, right? Business cards can be a great tool for your business, but they are not the first thing that needs to be done. Like Javi said, focus on helping people. Get clients first, okay? Then we can make the logo, then we can do the website, then we can do the business cards. Now, true story, and I actually wrote this in the kit. This is a true story, okay? I had a private practice down in Miami, and then I moved up here to Tampa, and I had a different private practice up here. And I made 4 sets of business cards in a short few months. Why? Because number one, I moved from Miami to Tampa, so that totally had to change on the business card. Number 2, changed my logo, changed my niche, changed my messaging, changed my color schemes, changed my font, and then I thought I got it right, and I had a typo. And it was, I had my website on there, and it ended in .com, right, .com, but on my business cards, it was .con. So I had to reprint them again. And after that, I said, forget this. I don't need business cards. I haven't gotten any clients from it. Nobody's called me and said, I found your business card and I want to book an appointment. I never got a client from that. So I said, forget it. Okay? So if you want to make business cards, you can definitely do that. Again, something that we recommend a little bit later on in your business, once you're more established, once you have, your brand, your logo, your color schemes, your social media channels optimized. Cool. If you want business cards, be my guest. Okay? But again, not the first thing. You should work on, figuring out how to see clients first. Then all the pretty stuff can come next. Okay? And if you're at the point when you want to get business cards, 2 places that we've used, and again, we highly recommend, are Canva, awesome website, and Vistaprint. And if anyone else has places where they've got business cards from, they absolutely love them, feel free to let us know, because we would love to add it to this starter kit to give more people more advice.
Yeah. And until you get some business cards, you might be asking, well, what do I give people? Give them your phone number. And actually, even better, get their phone number, get their contact information, give them something valuable. Friend request them on Facebook, right? Invite them to your Facebook group, invite them on your Instagram profile, right? These are all things that you can actively engage with someone on, right? And have a conversation with, and, keep in touch with them, and you control the relationship. That's the key. You want to control the relationship where you have access to people and aren't just hoping that someone calls you or emails you from your business card, right? So the more you're able to control the relationship in that sense, the more likely they are to possibly either become a client or refer you clients, because you are able to actively and proactively reach out to them, right? Send them a message, say, hey, how you doing? I know we met last week. You grabbed one of my business cards, but you haven't called me yet. So I just wanted to check in with you and see how you've been, right? So these are all different ideas for how you can take it one step above, heck, 10 steps above handing out someone a business card in hopes that they're going to contact you. All right?
Cool. So we got about 3 questions in the chat right now. So we'll go ahead and answer those real quick and then wrap this up for the night.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Cool. So first question is from Julia. She says, is it possible to use, I believe you meant PayPal and Venmo? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it is possible.
It's
for
possible. Sure. I would do Venmo early on. Like when you're starting off, it's okay. But the actual system for tracking your finances is not going to be, it's not going to be ideal. So I prefer, if everything else goes down and you have to make a speedy decision to use Venmo, go for it. But I would say PayPal or Stripe would be your best bet when starting off. Again, Venmo, for the short term, perhaps, but definitely not long term. Yeah.
Yep. So, and I believe they have a Venmo business now.
So if that's true, then that's something that you can use because it's made for business.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to have something that can track those the accounts receivable and accounts payable, and that way you can go ahead and use it. Can you use a personal PayPal? I'd get a business account. So definitely get a business account for when you're getting paid. You'll definitely want to do that for sure.
Cool. All right, we got Clarence says business cards, more of a memory tool than promotion, but I'm working with seniors. Yeah, I mean, in some businesses, it definitely may come in handy earlier on, especially, to jog those seniors' memories. Absolutely.
Yeah, and to add to that last question, I think it's Julia.
Yes.
So to add to that last question, with a business account, what you may find is, I can't recall right now, but what you may find is that they might ask you to input your business entity information on there. So this is where, even having a conversation with Sarah or another attorney or CPA might come in handy, because initially, right, when you have an LLC, you're a sole proprietor, and it's essentially you're being taxed as an individual, right? So with that said, you might still be able to get by with a personal account if you're forced to do a business account if you're forced to give your business entity information for your PayPal business account. So again, this is where you have to check in with them, and also every state is a little bit different, right? But this is essentially the idea there. Okay.
Cool. And then last question for the night also came from Julia. Sarah sells a 50-page contract. Is it necessary to have such a long contract to start with? That is a great question for Sarah. She has team members that help her. Every time we email her with questions, she is absolutely amazing. They respond really fast to our emails. So I would go ahead and send Sarah or her team at Destination Legal an email and just tell her your situation and ask if that is the best contract for you, or if she would recommend a different type of contract for the type of work that you do.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, that's all we have for you all. So if that was valuable, let us know in the chat. You got some value from that. Now you literally have everything that you need to get your practice started, okay, and start helping people. So we would love to know, when are you getting your first client by? What is your goal, right? When do you want to go ahead and get that first client by, or your next client? Put it in the chat. Let us know. Let's hold you accountable to this goal. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad that was helpful. So let us know when you're going to get your first client. And just so you're all aware, okay, for those of you that don't know, this is what we help with, okay? We help healthcare professionals gain clients to grow their business. And if you are in a place in your business, right, where you're maybe struggling a little bit to gain some traction, and you really want to start to help more people and generate more income for yourself, so at some point you can gain clinical freedom, we have the clinical freedom formula that we teach to help you do just that. So if that's something that you're ever interested in learning more about, and even seeing if we might even be able to help you, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to go ahead and comment the word game plan, and we'll connect with you. Marissa will connect with you for about 15 minutes over the phone, have a great conversation about where you're at, where it is that you want to go. And if we can possibly help you, then we'll let you know. Okay, and then we can schedule a second conversation where we can dive into more of the specifics and potentially present you with a possible solution that might work for you. Okay, and if for whatever reason we see that we might not be able to help you, then we'll at least point you to some resources or to someone else that might be able to help you best. So if that's something that you're interested in, seeing how we can possibly help you to grow your practice and gain clients so you can help more people and really make an impact, go ahead and comment the word game plan down below. And like I said, we'll connect with you and we'll get that set up. Cool? All right, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your Monday, and we will see you next week